The tie is completely pointless, but that's exactly the point. The tie could barely seem more obsolete than it is today. Barely anyone has to wear one, and for the first time in a generation, some men don't even own one. But if you're a young man of distinction, then you probably have no interest in following the herd. And that is exactly why I think you will appreciate the benefits of wearing a tie. From increasing your confidence to your sex appeal to being a vehicle for self-expression, the opportunities that this classic accessory presents are near endless. So next time you are dressing to impress, consider the effect you could create with a tie. And right now, let's look at the 5 best reasons why I believe you should embrace wearing a tie. Something psychological happens when you wear a tie. When I was in school, we used to gather in the hall every morning and the deputy headmaster would give a speech about something. And then after he'd given his speech, he would do a uniform inspection and he would tell every one of us to do up our tie properly. Once we'd done this, then he would always say, "Now you are ready for work." At the time, I hated this. I was very rebellious and I frequently broke the uniform rules. But now I see that he was right. When you put on a tie, you feel ready to take on the world. And the world thinks you are ready too. That's because the tie sends a lot of subliminal messages about the kind of man you are. And the tie suggests many desirable traits such as competence, status, and leadership. These stereotypes might not necessarily be true, but you can leverage the subconscious impact of your appearance on others. Check out this study that looked at the different types of attire worn by doctors, ranging from professional attire to casual dress. The study found that respondents reported they were significantly more willing to share their social, sexual, and psychological problems with the physician who is professionally dressed. Even if you're not a doctor, wearing a tie in the workplace can signal your ambition to be a leader, to put in effort, and to dress for the role that you eventually want to have. The tie has zero function and its only purpose is for style. Right now, the tie is very undervalued as a vehicle for self-expression and personal style. When you wear one, you introduce a new color and a new pattern to your outfit. You could even add a new texture to your outfit with something like a knitted tie or maybe the more unusual madder silk. Now, there's nothing wrong with wearing a blazer or a suit and a shirt with no tie, but it's quite boring compared to wearing the same outfit with a tie. And what you can do is you can coordinate your tie with your pocket square. With the two working together, you are seriously demonstrating your skill and your taste as a dapper man. This flair for style can be a great way to catch the attention of women, and I'm going to talk a bit more about that later on in the video. But for now, think about this. A lot of men are currently enjoying the trend for accessories such as bracelets, rings, and necklaces. A tie is simply a more eye-catching and bolder way to accessorize your outfits and make them stand out. The tie used to be a symbol of conformity, but that has changed. Unless you are in one of very few professions, it's highly unlikely that you are ever required to wear a tie. So in choosing to wear a tie, you're making an individual choice, not a conformist choice. And because it's so rare these days, wearing a tie makes you stand out. It shows people that you're an intentionally well-dressed man, which is a very admirable trait. And this form of self-expression can be a conversation starter. Someone might ask you where you got your tie from, or why you choose to wear one, or they simply might compliment your tie and you can take the conversation from there. Because the tie is not necessary, your decision to wear one demonstrates effort. After all, this is why we wear ties to big life events such as weddings and funerals. The tie is an acknowledgement of the gravity of the situation. So we can use the tie to indicate to others that an occasion is important to us. For example, if you're going to a celebratory dinner for your grandma's birthday, you can show her that this occasion is important to you by wearing a tie. If you are taking a girl out to a nice dinner, she'll probably wear a beautiful dress as a sign of effort and appreciation for the situation. Your reciprocal version of this could be wearing a tie with a blazer or a suit. There is a lot of anecdotal and scientific information out there which suggests wearing a tie can dramatically increase your sex appeal. Let me read to you an excerpt from a female journalist, Naomi McAuliffe, writing in a piece for the Guardian website in England. She wrote, "Suits and ties are undoubtedly the sexiest attire, not only on men but also women. A bespoke 3-piece suit, complemented by a ravishing tie and dashing pocket square, makes absolutely anyone look better. Why do you think people are still watching Mad Men? Clearly not its scintillating storylines, but because it continues to be clothes porn. It's true, we don't only have Don Draper as an example of this, but other male sex icons like James Bond, more recently Tommy Shelby, they tell us that there is something deeply attractive about the tie and a formal style of dressing. Perhaps it's the same reason why men find leg garters so appealing. It doesn't really make any sense, but there's something about it that just stimulates our imagination. Check out these comments that I found from a Reddit post on the community Ask Women, where somebody asked, "Do you like ties or not?" One woman wrote, "I love ties on men. Nothing to me is sexier than a man who dresses well." Another wrote, "It's super hot on guys. My boyfriend has to wear a collared shirt to work and only occasionally wears a tie, but when he does, it's just too dang hot. I don't know why, to be honest, I just like seeing him all dressed up like that." Another one posted, "If I were a man who had to wear a suit every day, I'd have so much fun with playing with the texture, colour and pattern. A lot of guys play it safe and there's so much potential. When I see a guy with some pizzazz, I make sure to compliment." And finally, in a 2016 survey, women were asked whether certain fashion choices would be a turn on or a turn off. 72% responded that they prefer a man to wear a tie on a date. Personally, I can tell you that my girlfriend loves it when I wear a tie, and she'll even request that I wear one sometimes. So if you're in the dating market, then wearing a tie is certainly stacking the odds in your favor. And if you're in a relationship, then I'm sure your girl or your wife would appreciate seeing you in a tie a little more often. I hope this video has inspired you to start wearing a tie a little bit more often than you normally would. Now, the tie is not appropriate for every situation, and I by no means suggest that you wear one all the time. But don't let the current trend for being uber casual stop you from having the tie in your personal style arsenal. Gentlemen, let me know in the comments, how often do you wear a tie? And do you have a favorite tie in your collection? And I would love to hear from my female subscribers, what are your thoughts about a man in a tie? Today I'm wearing my Brooks Brothers BB No. 1 rep tie. This tie has a fascinating history that I look forward to sharing with you in an upcoming video. But until then, I look forward to chatting with you all in the comments.